Hey, my name is PolishLynx and welcome to today's irae amentes. Last truth going on. We are back to Rusalka, I guess. Rusalka followed her bros at the deafening explosion going off in the distance and the heat wave that followed.
今のはザミエル。相変わらずデタラメやるわね。あいつったら。
That early explosion was no doubt caused by her giant cannon. No living being could survive a blast from that thing, which meant that Rusalka's two companions were most likely in mortal peril.
ま、クリストフはなんだかんだでうまく立ち回りそうだけど、バビロンは危ないわね。あの子、どんくさいっていうか、バカだから。
Rusalka's main concern was that Lisa might upset the Crimson Knight to the point where her rifle cannon shots would reach all the way to there and end up blasting her in the process. As if she didn't already have her hands full!
あなたさ、何食べたらそんなバカ力出せるのよ。
Souls? That's a cool picture. There was a certain hint of pain and exhaustion in her voice. Her creation figment was all about immobilizing her opponent, bending everything it touched in place without exception, and it most certainly affected her current opponent as well. As proof of that, Makina moved not a single step from the center of the arena where the shadow first caught him. At the same time, however, that was all Rusalka could do. Under normal circumstances, she had countless means to devour whatever ended up trapped in her web. She could drown her victims in the sea of her voracious shadows or simply use one of her instruments of torture to end them. That would have been easy for her to do. Yet the power that was once enough to stop an entire battalion in place could now barely halt the step of a single man. As a result, unable to weaken her concentration for even a split second, Rusalka herself was rendered immobile. The situation reminded her of an endless game of tug of war.
ま、別にずっとこのままでもいいけどね。待ってりゃクリストフが何とかするでしょ。
マレウス、一つ聞きたい。お前はなぜこんなところにいる？
Now that I think about it, maybe they can somehow get Machina on their side? But we'll see.
What?
For a moment, she thought she had misheard something. Even putting aside the fact that Rusalka hadn't heard the man directly address her before, the contents of his utterance were beyond puzzling.
幻聴かしら。なんだって？
お前はなぜこんなところにいるのかと聞いている。
なぜって。
Apparently, Rusalka did not mishear him. What was she hear? The bastards followed her into this cursed place themselves, for she figured the man was asking about something else entirely.
まさか、同士討ちを煽ったのが気に入らないわけ？
いや、だが少々下船。お前は盛しい性分だ。欲望よりも保身に走る。ベイなら不思議なことでもないが、
I forgot how slow he was with talking.
お前の柄ではないだろう。
そうかしら。私結構周りをいじるのが好きなたちよ。
今の立場も含めてか。
The sheer pressure of Machina's voice made Rusalka take a step back. Although the man was still bound in her shadow, she was not foolish enough to get distracted by conversation, for that was most likely not the somber knight's goal. He was merely curious, and that made it all the more unnerving, and all the harder to casually evade giving an answer.
っていうか、今のあなたの方が私にとっては驚きだったりするんだけど、意外に喋るじゃないマキナ今日。手足が動かないと口だけでも回したくなる？
聞いているのは俺だ。増年金土に情が湧いたなどということもありえまい。お前は己の都合でしか動かん人種だ。わからん。何か譲れぬものでも見出したか。己 思い出したか。大方の見当はつくが、しかし。
In the next moment, the impossible happened.
多少の敬意を示してやった。貴様が昔のままなら、とうに殺していたところだ。
Machina took a step forward, despite having his legs shackled by the Nachtzeller, and with that a crack ran across the entirety of Rusalka's spell, splitting her forehead open, painting it in crimson.
そんな、どうして。
Rusalka put her everything into holding him in place, but to no avail. Rather, each of the man's slow steps would open a new wound on her body.
俺を止める。無駄なことだ。なぜなら最初から止まっている。ましてここで、この場所で。俺を縛るなら、あと20万は魂を持ってこい。さあ、いいのか、そのままで。
Rusalka released her creation figment at the very same time an iron fist flew her way. The entire arena shook in the wake of tremendous explosion. The row of seats where Rusalka used to stand were mere moments before had been thoroughly obliterated. At this point, the man's fist exceeded the destructive power of a ballistic missile. But the true terror of his weapon lay somewhere completely else. Rusalka would not let them touch her. His pair of fists were weapons that rendered all attempts at defense completely futile. When faced with the destructive power of Deus Ex Machina, all weapons, armor, and magic were frail and weak as paper.
そうだ。そうした方がいい。
Machina slowly turned to Rusalka. The witch had evaded his fist by a hair's breadth and deployed her Nachtzeller at his feet. The somber knight's joints creaked as he moved with the sluggishness of a tongue's slowly turning cannon.
安易な形成もやめておけ。自殺行為に等しい。
そんなこと言われなくても分かってるってば。
Rusalka had already suffered a near mortal wound by having her creation figment half wrecked, and she might die for real if her Achnerba was destroyed in this state. She had but one option available to her.
私、こんなところで死ねない。
Her shadow was the first aberration that Anna Maria Schweglin claimed following her downfall. If alone did not belong to the sorcery of this obsidian table, she received it not from the Mercury magician, but that mysterious man of shadows. It was her only hope in his duel. She had pulled down and drowned thousands of souls within its confines, all for a single craving.
なんでここにいるのかって言ったよね。
She loved beautiful things. A spark of the ephemeral moment enticed her. No, don't go, don't leave her crawling upon the earth. She put all of her strength into controlling Nachtzeller. The flesh-eating shadow shot towards Machina. If she could only catch and swallow him.
怖かったのよ。置いていかれるのが。嫌なのよ。抜かされるのが。
And that was why she would latch onto and pull down on the legs of those trying to soar the skies. She would be left behind in the dust. No one would wait for her, but she wouldn't take it anymore. Her husband abandoned her, the villagers imprisoned her, and then she met the man of shadows and ended up chasing after him for countless years. The only reason she had lived this long was because she felt it too miserable to simply wither away alone, abandoned by the world. And yet life gave her nothing but misery as she drifted further and further away from all she wished for.
私、歩くの遅いのよ。
Everyone else was simply too fast. Okay, I have a stupid comment, but I will keep it to myself.
追いつけないなら止めてやろうって、そう思ったのよ。文句ある？
It's about her height. You know, she's not as big as she was before, and not as tall. Her steps are shorter, right? And that's why she can't keep up with the tempo. Okay, that's not even funny. That's stupid. Okay, whatever. Rahimura wished for the obsidian round table to tear itself apart from the inside, all in order to protect Ren Fuji.
私以外みんな止まるように手伝っただけ。
Ruska fought to keep both the swastika and the conjuration of immortality all to herself. She would live long enough so that neither of the people from the past nor those from the future could ever leave her behind again. She would not die. She did not want to die. She wished to become a... Now that I think about it, it's kind of similar to Kasumi. Yeah, it really is. I mean, everyone is going, like with Ren, right? He's going to fighting and Kasumi is left behind as the one, but she's the one that is waiting, right? Over here, she's basically not waiting for anyone. Like, there's no one that needs her to be waiting for them, something like that. But it's kind of a similar situation here. Anyhow, she wished to become a brilliant light, its radiance admired by all. She craved for an eternity of ephemeral love.
だから私はこんなところで。
Okay, let's face it, after all that happened to her, which we already know a bit about, I changed my thinking process about Rusalka, Anna Maria Schweigling, and because of what happened to her, she might also become like that. So I don't consider her what I considered her before, and yeah, I think I'm kinda starting to like her again, so it's kinda cool. As with Kay, not really fun, Somnia fun. Here, like her, stopped liking her, and like her again. That's awesome. I like that it happens like that with this game, seriously. Rusaka's scream gushed forth from the very bottom of her soul, yet the somber night of iron simply met it with another of his punches. Oh shit. Rusaka's shadow shattered, its pieces dispersing into nothingness. And with that, there was nothing more for her to do. It had only been a dozen or so seconds since Machina switched to the offensive, yet the battle was already over. The difference between the power of the two was overwhelming.
置いていかれるのはいつの世も死ぬべき時に死ねぬものだ。死んだ者には追いつけん。お前の考えでは溝が余計に開くだけだ。
Makes sense? But
わかってるもん。だけど。
in the end, she could not find a single kindred spirit in this world. As she exceeded in age, even the members of the obsidian table, she failed to keep up with the tempo of their lives. She could neither love nor wallow in madness. All had been denied to her. Her pace was too slow. All the world's radiance would slip through her fingers. And so, living longer than anyone else was all she could come up with. She had no idea what else she could have done. Maybe she would have discovered something. Had she caught up with and gazed at the true face of the Man of Shadows. But the more time passed, the more she was left behind. Pain, sadness, and loneliness gnawed at her heart. She failed to catch up to and grasp that ephemeral moment of her life.
自死、自戒の衝動だ。お前がそれを自覚したとき、寿命が来ていたということだろう。
He's damn philosophical here.
マレウス、お前の行動は自殺志願者のそれと変わらない。羨ましいぞ。終わりにできるな。
The man's words betrayed no hint of sympathy or emotion, yet there was no mistaking that he genuinely felt envious of the woman.
もう、何よそれ。本当にムカつく。
Surrounded by clouds of dust, Rusalka fell to her knees with a sob.
大嫌いよ、あんたたち。最初から全員嫌いだったんだから。もういい。なんかしらけちゃったし。ちょっとは頑張ったから。ねえ。ほら。早くやりなさいよ。
そうだな。
Machina clenched his fist again. If there was one good thing about them, it was that they killed faster than one could feel pain.
ねえ、マキナ。ここは幸せなところなの？
さてな。
誰も私を置いていかない？
皆がハイドリヒの混沌になるのみだ。
そっか。うん。なら、私はそれでも。
Of course it did. The man's somber fist fell upon Rusalka. However, in the split second before it dropped her of life.
だが、俺はこの世界の終わりを望む。
The witch that lived for 300 years could not help making a smile at the dryness of the Einherjar's remark. It had been a genuine smile, embroidered with nothing. The two were completely different, yet she felt almost like she was talking to him. Unfortunately, her smile would never reach its true target, the man of the ephemeral moment. Well, we don't know that, right? I will keep my hopes. Feet, winds, and dust filled the entirety of the space between them. An average man would have had his lungs scorched from wheat by a single breath of this seething air. Yet in the midst of this hellish place, there billowed a single wisp of smoke with almost surreal grace. Her blood-crimson hair fluttered in the wind like raining hellfire, and while half her face had been horribly burned beyond recognition, the rest of it boasted undeniable feminine beauty. I wonder who will fight her. Seething passions mingled with blood-curdling frigidity, the hideous meeting, the beautiful fire merging with eyes that are instilling half-demon. Then addressed the two as flames of absolute zero raged all around her. I think actually it won't be Valerian. I think he will be fighting the last of the three, to be honest.
聞き間違いかな。
No.
軍罪をわきまえぬ間抜けが二人。我が君を愚弄していたように思うのは気のせいか。
I'm another one then. They were all but an extension of the castle, rendering any attempts at a secret conversation meaningless. Eleanor narrowed her eyes at the two guests, smoke escaping her lips.
クリストフ。
Yo! Valeria Trifa used his body as a shield to protect his companion from the deadly flames.
ブレンナー。
Yo! Lisa Brenner glared at Eleanor from behind Trifa's back. They both faced Rubedo, one of the Gold's Imperial Guard, with unwavering conviction burning in their eyes. Yet Eleanor laughed the display off as a ridiculous farce.
まあ、何でも構わんさ。貴様らがどういう狂気に侵されたかなど、正直知ったことではない。私はただこの絵として、主に歯向かう海賊腹を中陸するのみだろう。来いよ、見苦しい恥知らず。誓いの成婚を受けながら、黄金の偉大さも理解できんクズめら。貴様らのような癌は放置できん。後腐れなく切除してくれる。
Despite the severity of her words, Eleanor's tone remained gentle. If anything, she happily welcomed this outcome. Love, murder, friendship, respect, animosity, they all amounted to the same for an immortal. Bloodthirsty Einherjar. Killing was hardly different from offering a loving embrace to a friend. Not that she had any friends. That probably wouldn't even offend her. The luster of her tremulous soul dwarfed even the raging heat waves. Much like Machina, she was not a being mortals could defeat. The Battalion 3 was all part of Reinhardt. Yeah, she'll definitely fight Lisa, I think. So maybe not definitely, I think that she will. Anywho, Since the question was how to escape rather than how to prevail. How to distract her, how to buy more time. That was what Trifa and Lisa should have concentrated on, but Eleanor allowed no room for tricks. Even among the 3 Imperial Guards, she was the hardest to slip past. She lacked the aloof nature of Machina, as well as the madness of Schreiber. Only ironclad loyalty bound her to her lord. There was no room for games or chaos in her heart. Therefore, if there was but one gap to be found in her perfect armor, it would be the penchant for self-destruction, a concept that Rain had prioritized above all else. Yet,
これは少々厳しいですね。余計なことを言うものではなかった。今の私はあなたにとって代行ですらないということですか。
メッキの剥げ落ちた貴様ならばな。
Eleanor stated it like an obvious fact, but it was only then that Lisa came to see the abnormality ravaging the priest.
あなた
Cracks and fissures littered Trifa's exposed flesh. All present could understand what it meant.
もはや貴様に玉体は御せん。伏せろよ。本来の矮小の器にな。
As Lenore snapped her fingers, palpable contempt burning into her eyes. Trifa's body shattered. Maybe in the end he will be the one fighting here. Rejection response. Trifa reached the limit before Eleanor's attack could find him. His soul surged forth as the explosion scorched the priestly robes that clad the now empty vessel. However, both Lisa and Eleanor reacted in a peculiar fashion. The latter shuddered in awe and looked away from that glorious display of naked virility. The former made a self-scornful face, as if reminded of an old sin. Deafening silence fell upon the room for a few seconds.
それが貴様の本音か。
The man's body sank to the floor of the castle, vanishing without a trace. The 2 women were left in the hell of their own. So, wait, what? Eleanor spoke up in a whisper, a host of indescribable feelings slipping into her tone.
貴様にとってあれは汚点か。
Lamentation, wrath, envy, fear. A whole range of emotions, all aimed at the person she found unable to comprehend. For as long as she lived, Eleanor von Wittenberg would refuse to acknowledge Lisa Brenner. The demonic flames raging in her eyes made that clear enough.
聞こえていたのね。私が彼の問いに何て答えたか。
In the end, who was the father? Despite drawing Lisa's answer in an assault of flames deep in her heart, Eleanor wished to know the truth.
そんなに憎い？
So Lisa stood up and addressed her former friend.
そんなに許せない？
While Trifa did not die, he was merely torn away from the vessel. Still, it did not change the fact that he was evicted from the room and that Lisa now faced the Crimson Knight as alone. Anyone could realize that Lisa's position was hopeless. Still,
私が彼の死体を操ったのが。
say what? You mean necrophilia stuff and stuff? Oh, yeah. What? Lisa, please don't joke like that with me. Because a mask manifested on Lisa's open palm. I mean, okay, this is crazy, but are you talking about Kain? Because before, I'm pretty sure I thought it was the Rusalka's husband. No, not the husband. The guy from the museum, actually. For a second I thought that. So... that's crazy. What? Lisa! What's wrong with you? And the who? It reeked of death, filling the whole room with the stench of a graveyard.
ええ、確かに私はインプよ。最悪の。
Okay. A giant monster materialized out of thin air. So, yeah. We're talking about Kain, of course.
だけどあなたに文句を言われる覚えはない。
There was no hint of despair in Lisa's eyes. Despite the hopelessness of her situation, she did not feel like backing down.
汚いとか卑怯とか女としてどうだとかあなたに何を言う資格があるのよエレオノール
King off the ground with a tremendous explosion, the death warrior launched along with a ghastly battle cry, its speed that of lightning. At the same time, Lisa's scream pierced the sky with comparable vigor.
誠実じゃない出し抜いた笑わせないでよ女の戦場に立ったことすらないくせにあなたの感情なんて嫉妬ですらないそれを抱く前提条件気持ちの形すらつかめていない分際で
Okay, just tell me who the hell are you talking about exactly, god damn it.
私に何かを言おうなんて60年以上遅いのよ
A great sword, 3 meters in length, fell on Eleanor, spewing purple lightning in all angles, but before it could finish its arc,
そうだ
Eleanor stayed in place, taking the tremendous blow without even attempting to defend herself.
私は女の感情など知らん複雑回帰で理不尽で成否も測れぬ壊れた代物自己中心的な都合を正当化するためだけに振り回す狂った武器など知りたくもないし持ちたいとも思わんよそうした意味で私が貴様の戦場に立っておらぬというならそうなのだろうさ
Eleanor did not exhale so much as a grunt when her right shoulder took the death warrior blade. The blow that decimated the floor below her feet, yet she brushed off as if it was the mere jab of a stick. Her eyes slightly narrowed.
さしずめこれも貴様の言う戦場とやらに身を投じたバカ者か
ええそういうことになるんでしょうね
I know something. The blade of the great sword still shimmered in fierce purple lightning, but both women understood what that meant. As such, there was no point in prolonging the conversation any further.
ではこうだ
Eleanor shook the cigar between her lips, and a single spark crumbled down from it, touching the giant's body during its descent. That was all that happened, and yet the dead warrior was instantly engulfed in pound crimson flames.
仮装してやろう見るに耐えん
The difference between the strength of the two was nearly comical. The giant vanished within the flaming inferno, not even Lisa could escape the burns. She made her Achternerber disappear the moment the flames erupted, but that was not enough for her to escape the explosion unscathed. Lisa staggered fast, soundless wail on her lips, burns littering the entirety of her body. You bitch, Eleanor! Eleanor meanwhile continued in a calm voice.
自ら破滅へ向かいながら断崖があるから悪いなどと抜かすなよ貴様らの言う戦場とやらは崩落の上と変わらない焼けた道中に立って踊り調子も墜落死も嫌だという気象できぬことを理不尽だという黄金に救いを求めたならば魂を支払え貴様らは盗人だ焼かれる業がありながら火を恐れているたわけに過ぎんそしてそんな知れ者に翼が生えることなど起こりえん
They had bent the knee to reincarnate Heydrich once. They were beguiled by his power, scorched by its magnificence, and peeled up countless bodies in the name of his glory.
ハイドリヒョウを倒すその恵みを文字通りかすめ取りアマツさえお手に思っているような貴様がか笑わせるなよブレンナ私は心底貴様のことが気に入らん
Eleanor cared not for the full circumstances, reasoning, and emotions. She would not even entertain the idea of acknowledging them. The crimson nightness seated in silent fury.
なぜそこまで恥知らずになれる
How could she possibly define the concept of honor to that extent?
物事には原因と結果がある貴様の過去に今が答えを出したのだ積み上げた屍は献上するのが道理だろうすでに一度同じことに手を染めた身で
Countless rifles manifested behind Eleanor's back. Lisa felt as if an army of spears had been pointed at her neck, but she displayed no fear. She merely let out a sigh.
イザークのように。
Once in the past, she sacrificed her own flesh and blood to the gold. Beguiled by the promise of miracles, she let go of her own son.
あの子は私をずっと恨んでいるのかしら。
Not minding the numerous muzzles pointed at her, Lisa tossed her head up and gazed at the ceiling. Did the heart of Valhalla, her son, resent its mother?
私はあの子が怖かった。その目を正面から見られなかった。自分の罪を叩きつけられているように思うのよ。だから、切り捨てたわ。あれは私の業で、補填で、向き合えない弱さそのものだったから。あまりにも、似すぎていたから。
Eleanor slightly furrowed her brows, but remained silent. Lisa's words filled her with disgust and insulted all her ideals, yet she could not bring herself to interrupt the woman. Unable to comprehend the peculiar sensation, Eleanor furrowed her brows even further, but all that did was irritate her further, and so she forced her lips to part.
彼は他者を恨むなどという感情を持っておるまい。
Isaac, the first Zonin kid, possessed nothing, a fact that ought to surprise no one, for he lacked the very foundations of such things. And it was none other than Lisa who had made him so.
悲哀増開。そうしたものは何かを奪われなければ発生しない。貴様は彼に何か一つでも与えた。
いいえ。
Lisa bestowed upon him nothing. She gave him no foundations, and so there was no way emotions could have sprouted in the bastard who had possessed nothing to begin with.
だからあの子は全部飲み込もうとしているのね。
He had nothing, thus he craved everything. Heaven and hell, God and Satan, all things in creation, from the first universe that was, to the last that will ever be.
我が愛とは破壊の業。
That's actually quite true. Lisa made a hard smile, her eyes glazed into the recesses of her past.
何のことはない。結局私自身があの子を父親と同じにしたのよ。怪物を生んだんじゃない。怪物にしてしまった。それを今になって気づいたのよ。だからねえエレオノーレ、私はあの子たちを救いたいと願う。諸子とは逸脱しすぎてるけど、これが今の私の本音なの。あなたの美観に照らし合わせて、やっぱ
そうだね。
One of the rifles went off.
貴様の論理はバイタのそれだ。重荷ゆえに捨てた事実を棚上げし、今更になって母親面か。私は女でないかもしれんが、貴様が腐っていることだけはよくわかる。世の女、世の母たる者、己がその代表者であるかのごとき主張、剣道、厚顔無知極まりない。侮辱であり愚弄であろうよ。貴様こそが女の敵というやつだ。
Wouldn't say so. I would say that's actually quite good because she learned from her mistake. Despite that was a freaking huge mistake.
端的に言おう、ブレンナー。バビロンはゲスだ。世を腐らせる悪徳の目しか生まん。
Four successive shots pierced Lisa's shoulder, chest, and belly, yet she took them all without any hint of resistance.
醜いよ、ブレンナー。貴様、殉教する聖女にでもなったつもりか。ならばこそ、楽にはしなさい。肉の一片すら残さず無にしてやろう。削り殺してやる。己が在庫を食いるというなら、泣きわめいて絶望しろよ。それこそが子供たちへのレクイエムだ。自己満足の偽善などヘドが出る。
The quantity and speed of her shots kept increasing. By the time Eleanor aimed at her speech, Lisa was already fighting off a torrent of bullets.
そうね。確か
Yet she refused to fall. If anything, it seemed like she was slowly advancing forward.
私が女として最低の部類なのは自覚している。偽善者なのも自業自得なのも、それを棚上げしているのも。ええ、本当に。どこの女性からどう言われても言い訳なんかできないわよ。私が全部悪いのだから。
By this time, she had turned into a bloody mess. Her tongue, teeth, and even vocal cords were utterly decimated, yet still her voice rang clear and resolute. Step after step, she pressed ever onwards. Her voice grew ever closer. Eleanor couldn't believe what she glimpsed and heard through the torrent of bullets and clouds of smoke. Inexplicable, unfathomable to an eerie level, her common sense could not find an explanation for this phenomenon.
逃げないでよ。
Eleanor realized she was about to take a step back.
のれくずめが
A scream spilled forth from her lips as she launched a missile to decimate her foe once and for all. The incoming warhead, the sizzling conflagration, realizing that death was nearly decimated, a faint smile. The two could never see eye to eye. Even a reunion after 60 long years had turned to a bloodbath. At this point, Lisa could only laugh. They fought all the time. They could not help competing. Their BDM days were those of constant struggle against each other. They even fought over who could wake up earlier. Those were naive and childish days. Whenever Lisa tried recalling the nostalgic radiance of those times, Eleanor would always pop up in her mind's eye. And that was the same for the Crimson Nightness, was it not? You make my blood boil, Eleanor. Why do you keep popping up in all of my nice memories? I'm tired of constantly seeing that dumb mug of yours. Get out of my head. Why couldn't she ignore her, despite detesting her so? While she's still trying to compete with her at this point, the whole thing felt ridiculous. Hadn't they fought enough? Hadn't they competed enough? No matter how much their life changed, it seemed like they simply could not get enough of going at each other's throats. Eleanor refused to acknowledge Lisa's way of life. Lisa refused to admit defeat against Eleanor. The stubbornness of the two reached unbelievable heights. What could have been the initial cause for this decade-spanning conflict? It didn't matter which one of them represented the correct bearing of a woman. There was no point for either of them to run for elections at this point, long after they abandoned their fatherland. Therefore, it was merely a vague feeling that they had unfinished business between each other that drove them forward. They both grew old, their many years walked by the river of time, yet still they refused to stop their fight. I mean flight? Probably fight, but whatever, finding themselves racing at the very edge of hell. There was most likely something that the two had accidentally left behind, and were now merely struggling to retrieve it. Wouldn't you agree, Eleanor?
汚らわしい
Eleanor declared she would scorch the woman's flesh to the bone little by little, that she would make her cry out in despair. And never in her life had she gone against her word. She prided herself on seeing all of her promises through to the end. So where had her dignity vanished in that moment? Why did she end up launching a Panzerfaust? Why did she suddenly decide to scourge the woman in an instant? Would she have been in danger otherwise? Would she have damaged herself had she did not make that decision? No. The very notion of that was impossible. The world would sooner turn upside down before that woman could hurt her. Yet she could not contain her anger. She felt an inexplicable sense of defeat come over her. They clashed and fought countless times, more than enough to make her sick of the ordeal. They were no longer children trying to outperform one another. How long would this senseless bickering continue? Both of them had long been fed up with it and lost interest. And yet, they still found themselves unable to turn a blind eye to even the most meager of discords. You make me sick, Brenner. Every last thing about you rubs me the wrong way. But why was it so? The issue of the matter might have lied with the fact that the two have never fought over anything truly childlike. They bickered over thousands of things, and yet that alone seemed to have slipped through their fingers. You see, Rhea is cute beyond words. A genuine little lady. And that was what the two lacked. Lisa's youth, Eleanor's youth. Do you now understand what we missed out on? Even though it was something natural to all young women. As such, refusing to go through the correct motions, the two ended up never growing up, remaining as two hollow brats, far barred from proper womanhood. Therefore, Lisa Brenner now craved to become a mother. Rhea, Isaac, and the children in her heart. She wished to hold them all tight in her arms. And to do that, she had to settle a score with Eleanor, once and for all. May this defiled body of mine hold out for just a little while longer. And as the 100th shot ruptured, her prayer reached its target. She slapped her! That was good. A dry sound reverberated across the hall, neither caused by a bullet nor by an explosion. It was small, almost inaudible, compared to the thunder of gunfire that had dominated the room just moments before. Eleanor could not comprehend as to what could have caused it, nor why one of her cheeks suddenly grew numb. What did Lisa do to her?
言ったでしょ、エレオノール。あなたにだけは、とやかく言われる覚えなんかないのよ。女の戦場に、上がってすらいないあなたにだけは。
It was Liz's hand, having suddenly emerged from the mantle of smoke and dust covering the air, that hit Eleanor's cheek.
結局あなたとは一回も、ちゃんと喧嘩ができなかった。あなたはいつも、逃げてばっかり。
All of Eleanor's bullets found their mark. Lisa tried neither to dodge nor to defend against them. She simply endured. Despite having suffered mortal wounds, she held on with an iron will to maintain her crumbling body, delaying the moment of her demise. It was no easy feat. At this point, it was nothing short of a miracle, exceeding any reasoning known to man. As such, Eleanor failed to comprehend it, allowing herself to be hit straight in the face. If there was an expression to describe what led to this outcome, it would have to be sheer feminine tenacity. For indeed, it lay beyond the comprehension of the crimson knightess who had cast aside her womanhood.
あなたの本音は一度も見てない。外面を取り繕って、かっこつけて、火の打ちどころがない正論だけを武装しているバカ。その下に隠れた本当のあなたは、ただの臆病者よ、エレオノーレ。
Lisa Brenner was a repugnant woman. The concept of ethics itself would condemn her, and that was true. She could not deny it. Yet neither did she wish to listen to those that used her bearing to justify their wrath.
私のことが嫌いなら、ちゃんと嫌いな理由にまっすぐでいなさいよ。社会がどうとか、国家がどうとか、もっともらしい理由をつけていつも逃げてる。隠れてる。好きな男を取られたのが悔しい。要はそれだけなんでしょ。
Eleanor said nothing. There was no way for Lisa to tell what was going on in her mind. And nonetheless, the Crimson Knightess did not attempt to deny the accusation. Was that how she expressed mercy during the final moments of her once comrade's life? Or was she merely rendered speechless by the ludicrousness of the comment? Or could she really had no words to retort it with? All that was clear was that she failed to deny Lisa in that moment. Lisa, robbed of the last of her strength, sank down onto Eleanor's chest.
私たちの青春は、ろくなものじゃなかったけれど、もしもそんな理由で喧嘩ができれば、ね、素敵だったと思わない？
勝手な話だ。
A denial, yet it carried an odd sense of timidity.
貴様もキルヒアイゼンも そういうところが気に食う。自分がそうだからといって、周りも同じだと信じて疑わないところがな。はあ、だから女は嫌いなんだ。それしか頭にないらしい。貴様らの脳内では、男に抱かれない女は惨めな敗者ということにでもなっているのだろう。人生など、人の数だけあるというのに。
Well, she just said something interesting.
じゃあ、抱かれたいと思ったことは
Yes, exactly that she never has done that.
あるさ。
Eleanor answered the question without a hint of hesitation.
むしろ常に思っている。だが私のそれは、貴様らの言う甘ぬるいものではない。欲しいのはぬくもりでなく、炎。私を焦がす輝きに、英語を焼かれていたいだけだ。
Whoa! Yowza!
また情熱的な告白だこと。
好きに勘ぐれ。なんと貴様はゲスだが、その意地とやらに不覚を取った。ならば敬意を払うことに嫌はない。眠るがいいブレンナ。私と喧嘩がしたいのなら、以後いくらでもできる。ここにハイドリヒ教がおわす限りな。
Well, we'll see about that, right? One response to the parting line.
だから、残念だっていうのよ。
Lisa only made a faint smile.
ごめんなさい。やっと抱いてあげられるわね。イザーク。私が言ってあげるから。どうか、レアを。
The devil's castle trembled in the wake of her fading voice. For a moment the demonic structure appeared like a giant cradle, with a newborn babe peacefully listening to its mother's lullaby inside.
母さん。
Isaac cocked his head in response to the scream of a soul he had absorbed. Well, in truth, he could not literally proceed with such an action. He had no real body to speak of. He was merely part of the whirling chaos. A mere drop in the ocean, but also a heart, the most important cog of the mechanism.
今、母様が溶けた。
Therefore, he could now understand her. A new drop fell into the ocean that he supervised, the resulting ripple telling him of everything that transpired. Ah, I see. And so Isaac, the core Davis castle, molded a new soul into its thick walls. He felt nothing else. He was simply that kind of being, and molding anything new that fell into his sea was but a natural process for him. And he would continue to do so up until his being overflowed, emanated and swallowed all there was in the world. Maintaining this sea, this castle, was the Gear's sole duty. And that was why, despite realizing that he had swallowed his own mother, he felt nothing in particular. Joy, sorrow, resentment, wrath, or desolation. None of it colored his psyche. Unable to feel exhaustion or boredom, he merely quivered in the synchrony of the ripple, that was all. He loved all and everything, and thus he swallowed without discrimination. All would be equal before the swirling chaos of Veltal, for a newborn babe grieving for its mother's milk to a vile criminal despised by all of mankind. Zonnekind, the favorite of the goat's children, was that kind of being. Or at least, that was how it had been, until now! Everything should have ended here, and yet... A slight incongruity. He kept turning like the diligent Gear he was, proceeding with his operation like a well-oiled machine, yet he suddenly became aware of an aberration within his system. Or was that a scream, and that Krieg escaped Isaac's being as he rotated according to the usual protocol? The turning of gears would generate sound, so there was nothing odd with the occurrence. Such concept was not applicable to his being. It was only true in the world ruled by common physical laws. The same did not apply to the sea under his supervision. The melody of grinding gears meant but one thing: abrasion. They would clash against each other and scream in agony as parts of them ended up eroding to nothingness. Hence, why regular gears would only hold for a couple of years and required constant maintenance and replacing. No mechanical part that caused out could function for an eternity. As such, what on earth could have happened? No change occurred in Isaac, he felt nothing. Yet he could feel aberration in his being. In other words, there was someone else who cried within himself. In that case,
そうか。
he finally remembered that he swallowed someone else in his aloofness. There had been 2 gears currently within himself.
母様の死に、お前は泣くのか、テレジ
Oh, you've got to be shitting me now. The devil's castle trembled. Isaac and Zonikin paused to ponder as how to treat his phenomenon that cast a shadow upon his duty.
お前がそのまま泣き続ければ、いずれ私たちは削れて消える。
That way, they could not remain as eternal gears. Isaac could not fulfill the mission bestowed upon him by the gold.
いらぬ何かを持っているのか。
The girl possessed something he was bereft of.
私は母様を知らぬ。
But the girl did.
故に泣くのか。
Hence he would erode.
いいだろう。ならばその愛、この私が飲み込んでやる。
That sounds weird, man. That sounds really weird. Isaac opened his eyes. Creepy as fuck. They sparkled in gold as if able to see through everything, yet they looked at nothing. Beauty and ugliness, more ugliness, holiness and vileness, more vileness, all were equal, no more special than rocks and trees before his gaze. Okay, before him, okay. In him, no. The eyes that Lisabeth could not bear to look straight into. The eyes that were the reason he turned out like this. He received no alternative, nor the emotions to resent or lament that fact. As such, Isaac was on the verge of devouring the forbidden fruit. He desired to know its taste. No differences should have been allowed between Zonenkins.
お前も私と同じにしてやろ
How about no?
う。いや、そもそも
You will make yourself like her actually that way. What made his voice tremble? Or was that a sneer? He loved all and everything, and thus he swallowed without discrimination. All would be equal before the swirling case of Beltal, from a newborn babe grieving for its mother's milk to a violent criminal, despised by all of mankind. And yet,
私が憎いの？
okay, that did not sound like Rhea at all. Lisa Brenner melted in the castle, causing her blow of valiant motherhood to wash over it. The very same feeling she harbored towards Rahimura, if Isaac indeed felt resentment towards the girl. Then that made him unworthy of the title of Zonenkind, the most beloved of the Gold's children.
地獄を知れ、テレジ
A slight abrasion that occurred due to a barely perceptible creak. Yet that was enough to upset the gears of the castle's heart. In that case, he had to reevaluate his concept of hell. It was the lowest world of deafening screams that sinners would be cast into after their inevitable demise. That was about it, but what did the words lowest and screams mean in this context? Torment, treading a mountain of needles, swinging in a sea of flames, crawling through a valley of ice, and one fast semblance of meditation coming with countless images at will. And none were wrong. In other words, hell was where one died over and over again. If it was indeed a place prepared to punish sinners for their transgressions, then making it as undesirable as possible made sense. However, depending on time or place, the concepts of good and evil could change. There was no less trustworthy law devised by mortals. What would be the factors that led one to be cast in the mountain of needles, sea of flames, or a valley of ice? Isaac had no penchant for riddles, and so gave a straight answer. It was all the result of their own choice. The master of the castle, the gold, was not preparing a different trial for every soul that ended up in his ward. Everyone had been free to choose where to go themselves. They would find kindred spirits and mold with them, thus becoming scaffold for the castle, strengthening its foundations. They would create their own places for torture, and there they would constrain themselves with the causes of their death. What led to their deaths? Were they too aggressive, too passive, or just unlucky? Birds of a feather flock to death together. Their essence would merge and resonate, creating the loss as it amplified. In short, those that died in a fire would continue to burn forever. They would continue killing each other with sympathy in their hearts. Whether or not they were conscious of it, the fact changed little that they all walked a path stained with blood and strife. Those who slayed a being that wasn't their kindred, and thus alien to their amalgam, forged their beings into a separate hell and would be graced with the honor of being called an headhunter. That was how this castle had been made. Thus, Tertia, you should obey the same law. A clap of hands reverberated among the gears and...
では、地獄巡りを始めよう。ラ・ディビーナ・コメディア。
Let go and screw yourself, Isaac. Let's end the episode. We'll see where this is exactly going in the next one. For now, hope you enjoyed it and hope to see you tomorrow. Bye bye.